Good to have back with us Dean Myrick, the Commissioner of the ACCC. Commissioner, how are you?
I'm good. A little chilly, but good.
It is a bit on the nippy side. Of course, who knows when we'll air this? It may run for a month or so, but at the time of recording, it is a nippy morning here in Alabama. Um, I want to talk about the D1, D2. Obviously, this is the first year, so there are new adjustments to be made. And really, in volleyball season, there weren't adjustments because everybody was D2. You get into basketball, you got a D1, you got a D2. Have there been any unforeseen situations where the two different divisions are concerned, or has it gone pretty smoothly thus far?
It's gone real smooth. We've had no issues and didn't expect any issues. Um, I don't even know if you call it an issue. The biggest adjustment for us is having two tournaments, but that is that's really not a big deal either way. So we'll just have Division Two starting that last part of February, first part of March, and then the weekend after that, we'll have Division One and Division Two. We'll play their district championship. So, so far so good. And as I have told people, if you didn't know it, um, you would never know there was a change. Schedules look a little bit of different. Once you look at that, obviously, looking at the standings, instead of north south, you have D1, D2, but outside of that, um, there we've had no problems. So I think volleyball kind of proved without a doubt that the D2 route will help us tremendously at that level from a competition standpoint. While the state went out and won more, matches in that one tournament than we have ever, at Division One. So, and I expect the same at, for basketball and baseball and softball. And so we're looking forward to that.
How long does the alignment stay as is? I mean, if a team that's one, or even a team that's two, wanted to become the other division, is there a time period to wait? Can they make that change instantaneously, or are we in a 2 or 3 year arrangement?
Well, it's actually a 4-year commitment. But that being said, if there's any extenuating circumstances, and I'm trying to think of what may a change in or drastic change in scholarship or philosophy from the school or whatever, they can ask for an exemption from that to go up or down. But I don't foresee that happening with us. Like I said, all of our scholarships are the same, so that's not going to change one way or the other within that 4 years. So uh, the year before that, the end of the 4-year commitment, schools will declare again for another 4 years, and I don't know if we'll see movement there or not, one way or the other, but so yeah, we're looking forward to kind of steadying the ship, as you say, moving forward. So, unless something drastic changes, I don't anticipate much movement up or down.
There is one thing that I noticed. I guess maybe this is just on a broadcaster's end, but the stats have both D1 and D2 combined. So your statistical leader, let's say in a per game average point scored, could be a D2 guy. The number two guy could be a D1. Has there been conversation about separating the two, or will it remain the same with your statistical leaders?
We would love that, but it's more of a website provider um, issue. So we are working on that, and hopefully soon. But our website provider is um, having a few issues and have for quite a while. So we're trying to work through that, and but right now we're not able to separate those.
One other question that might be presenting website issues, and that is Coastal East is now technically Coastal North from an athletic perspective. So is that creating some issues too, at least on the website as far as scheduling and information?
We haven't had any yet that I know of. Um, you know, everybody here, is aware, of who has what. So, with Coastal North, including now Bruton and Monroeville in one, and obviously South and Bay Minette. Uh, so as of now, we've had no issues with that. Even when it went from Faulkner State to Coastal, South, East, and North, there was a little adjustment to that because everybody knew Faulkner as Faulkner, and then you had Jeff Davis and uh, Alabama Southern, at the time. So that was the big adjustment there when they all combined. But no, not as I know, we don't have any issues with that.
This is not D1, D2 related, but there has been, I think, since we last talked, a change in location for the Division One ACCC tournament. It's still going to be in Huntsville, but not in Alabama A&M. So what brought that change on?
Once and we were kind of anticipating the possibility of this, but once the SWAC basketball schedule came out for A&M, they had, our tournament runs from Thursday to Saturday. So once the SWAC schedule was released for A&M, they had a home doubleheader on Thursday and Saturday. So there just wasn't room, per se for us. And like I said, we were kind of waiting on that, knowing that that was a possibility. So, after talking to Huntsville Sports Commission, Alabama Huntsville was, more than welcoming for us just to come over there. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to it, but it was just a scheduling conflict, with A&M with their, and obviously their SWAC schedule has to take precedent over us.
Big news too for the ACCC in that Alabama Public TV, for the first time ever, will broadcast the championships for D1 there in Huntsville. That's got to be a boon for a lot of folks. I mean, for Alabama Public TV, for the ACCC, and for the Huntsville Sports Commission.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And, well, the system as a whole partnered with APTV with, the Super Seven, state football championships. And now obviously we're comparing high school football to junior college basketball, but, the quality of the broadcasting, you're going to be helping us with that as well. And, know that will, go smoothly. But, the viewership, um, was outstanding for that. And and it's probably not comparing, oranges to oranges, but so yeah, we're looking forward to that. I think it gives us a lot more exposure, puts us on a bigger, stage, statewide with, um, you know, with, with Alabama Public Television. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, and hopefully it goes well, and we can kind of expand this thing, in years to come. Whether it's a game of the week or venturing into other sports and seeing what that looks like.
Get into baseball after basketball wraps up. Is everything set as far as the conference tournament in D1 and D2?
Yes, we are still in Oxford for both. And kind of like basketball, we'll have two separate baseball tournaments. Excuse me. D2 will be the week before D1. So that'll be the end of April. We did have a little scare. We had heard that the Talladega race was going to be the weekend of our tournament, which would basically we would have to find somewhere else to go because there would just be no hotels, in that area, and what would be available, you may not, want to pay what you're gonna have to pay to stay there. So luckily, it stayed where it was the weekend before, and we were able to, still stay there. So looking forward to that as well.
Where softball is concerned, is 1 and 2 running simulcast there at Veterans Park in Alabaster?
We are. Unlike basketball and baseball, we were able to get with Florida and combine our conference slash region slash district tournament into one for Division II. So we'll get our top 5 and they'll send their top 3 because we have more teams, and we'll do an 8-team double with the winner of that going, directly to the national tournament. And then we'll have our top 6 Division I teams. So we're going to run both tournaments at the same time, kind of try to stagger, to start. Yeah, I went by Veterans Park. You wouldn't even recognize it now. I mean, it's not that it was bad before, but everything's turf now. All 5 fields are exactly the same, so we'll be able to use all 5 fields, if we need. But it looks beautiful, and we're looking forward to actually being the first tournament at the, I say the new park, but new renovated park.
The 4 fields, 4 of the 5, will they be used simultaneously for the softball?
We've got to put pen to paper on that. We have looked at staggering. With 6 teams in Division I, they don't need but a couple of time slots for that. So we could do 2 fields, with Division I at a time. Let them play, and they can go back to the hotel or go back to campus if they're not staying, and then we could start Division II right after them. And but that being said, we do have the ability to use 4 fields at a time. And but obviously once we get down to probably the semis, we would go down to 2 and not have that overlap, and cuts down on foul balls, possibly going into other fields. So right now it's up in the air. We're trying to look at what creates the best environment, what creates the most level playing field as far as back-to-back games versus taking breaks. And that way each team is playing the exact same route that their opponent has played. So we'll have all that probably with the next few weeks decided.
Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC, thanks so much for being our guest here at halftime. We're going to have to do this again, man. We filled up 13 to 15 minutes of a halftime, so we'll have to sit down again and talk to get more from Dean Myrick.
There'll be a lot more, I'm sure. But yeah, anytime we can get together.
Thanks a lot.